Antisocial Social Club Spring Summer 2020. Still happening despite the coronavirus. It is dropping this Saturday, March 28th at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you go over to their website, they have it set up like this. They got a picture of a dog, all this stuff, join the mail list. And on the bottom they have enter the password. Now I know somebody is going to ask what the password is. Nobody knows what the password is. It's meant so people can restock it, or like friends and family can get in early. I don't think they ever do like a guess the password or anything like that, or give out hints, because I think Neek has been inactive for a long time. I'm not sure if he's come back since I've been following, but yes, nobody knows the password. Just when the drop time comes, the site will open, and usually the site actually opens quite a few minutes before the actual drop is supposed to happen. So I'd say be ready, you know, like 15 minutes early, start checking the website like every minute, and then leading up to it much more frequently. With that being said, we have some quick images to go through. Starting off, this is the first teaser we received on March 3rd. Shout out Alex, he liked it down there, friend of the show. And basically this is just like some little Jeep thing jumping out with some flames. And yeah, there's not a whole lot to be said about that. It's just, you know, an announcement. Another one of the teasers, you got like a fishbowl, or honestly what looks like a mega like wine glass, and then a golf ball inside the bowl, which we will see later. That's actually one of the accessories they're doing. Then you have this love-hate, almost kind of like a Tarantino-esque font. I'm not sure. I don't think Pulp Fiction did something like that, but I want to say the Hateful Eight kind of had a font like that, which makes sense. You know, you got hate going there. But we will see some items with that stuff later. And then this is just like a toy dinosaur, you know, something that a little kid would get. This appears to have that first one with the car jumping out of the flames, and then underneath it, it says enough. And then if you flop it over on the back, you of course have like almost every antisocial piece. You got the brand or the logo big across the back, and the fill for it are flames. So I don't know if you guys like that. I think it's kind of tacky, which can be said for most antisocial pieces. A lot of the designs just don't feel like they're super high quality. I don't know. This one, you got like the Black Widow over the back, and that's the only picture we get for it. Not a fan of that. I don't generally care for designs with spiders on them. I think that's usually tacky, which falls in line with a lot for this brand. The love-hate stuff, you have the love on the front there, antisocial on the back. So this one on the left actually has a letter A on the front, which makes sense, antisocial. Got some stars on the sleeve, a number, I don't know what the significance of that is, and then antisocial on the this we have a cropped crew neck, or else long sleeve, and I'm not sure if it'll actually drop cropped. They do a lot of like customization in these lookbook pieces, so it makes it even less useful. Oh yeah, and it looks like they have 88 on the sleeve. So here it looks like the one on the left, it says last time, and once again we're seeing like a little bit of customization. They cropped the bottom waistband from that hoodie, and then on the right it looks like antisocial. I'm guessing that says spring summer 2020. Yeah, and then hung up, which is the theme I guess they're going for with this season. Last time was the last time. So this looks like a work jacket. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe there'll be a better image or one from the front. Yeah, so it does look like a work jacket, and then it has like a cheetah print fill. I believe that's cheetah print for the actual logo, which I think is pretty cool. But then you go to this side and you have like this big, I have no idea what kind of flower that would be, but you got that big flower, and then antisocial on the chest. I don't know, a decent piece. At least it's cool to see them doing a different silhouette, so I support that. And then the one on the right, not a whole lot to be said about that. So although I'm not crazy about this design, I think it did use a kind of cool font. You know, Antisocial is known for this kind of wavy font, and this kind of mixes that wavy font with the like psychedelic, I don't know what it would be, like 60s or 70s, like hippie font that you see a lot of the time, like Dazed and Confused stuff. This time you have it saying Antisocial Forever with the the 4 in forever being just the number 4. And if you're wondering what that is around her waist, that's just like a little like belt thing. I don't think that's actually a part of it. So similar to the Love hoodie that we had earlier, we have the Hate hoodie coming in a watermelon colorway. You got that pink and then green, and then on the back you got the same thing going on. And then also interesting to note, Neek does this all the time for the lookbooks. I'm pretty sure those are ski boots that they have on, which I don't know. Neek has a strange sense of style. Moving on, we have another Antisocial logo. This one I think was introduced like a year and a half ago. I want to say they started kind of doing this one. But yeah, once again, has that leopard fill, just like a light pink colorway. Looks like it has some stuff going on the sleeves, but can't exactly tell what that is. Moving on, you have this Antisocial kind of like bedazzled or sequin or something like that. Sparkly letter logo on the back. I'm not exactly sure if there's any specific order to the letters or it's just kind of random. Kind of looks like it's random. Doesn't look like it's following like a flag or anything along those lines. But I've seen some interest in this one. And I want to say they actually teased this tee a while ago, even before the original announcement of the hung up season, spring summer 2020. The shirt the girl's wearing is trash. Antisocial, it's got a bunch of garbage underneath. I don't like that. So here we have the dinosaur that we saw on one of the first teased images, and a little bit different of a logo. Just kind of has this like more bold outline, and hard to tell what's going on the bottom. I'd guess it's probably just like ASSC or something like that. Nothing too crazy. Here we got a bunch of pictures. I really do not care for when they do this just big square and it says Antisocial. They do this with a couple things, and there's an accessory that we'll see going forward that I really don't like. At first I thought this one was decent, but the more I look at it, the less I like it. Got this like Versace gold chain going around, and then it's also tie-dye, which I don't know if it'd be better if it wasn't tie-dye, or maybe like a different color tie-dye instead of like blue, but I don't know. I can see people liking this piece though, and maybe it'll be one of the better ones. I don't know. I'm not crazy about it. This one is kind of cool, just all over flags. We've seen Antisocial do this before. I want to say it was a year ago, or else their previous like fall winter season one. I think they had the Antisocial logo, and then they'd have the fill for it was a bunch of flags. So I guess this is the progression from that. You have the all over flag print, which I don't think is bad, but I went by it. Got a camo one. They've done this before. I want to say the most recent version of this camo, I want to say it's the exact same camo they use. It just had an orange logo. This time we got a blue and pink one looking like some cotton candy. You got a edgy gradient Antisocial with a bunch of skulls on the bottom. Whack. So here we're moving on to another kind of interesting piece. This time we have a kind of skeleton hoodie. I'm not exactly sure what the dude on the left's wearing, but yeah, you have the skeleton on the arms, the back, and then the rib cage on the front that you can see. Not too great of close-ups, but I think that's probably not executed the greatest. I know, I want to say 10 Deep has some kind of cooler skeleton stuff they put out. Nike and Undercover did a skeleton kind of like running suit, I want to say, or like, you know, compressions almost. And then also Civil Regime, which is kind of like mallcore, but they still have some cool designs. They also did a skeleton like rib cage t-shirt, which I think is executed much better than that one. But at least, you know, I can give the creativity to them for trying to, you know, branch out and do something a little bit better. This one, you have no self-control, it says, and I think that's just a hoodie. Yeah, it's just a hoodie, and she's wearing like some transparent jacket over it. You have this Antisocial Social Club kind of oval logo. Definitely reminds me of something, but I can't think of what. Lady looking interesting with that bucket hat on. Here's another example of Antisocial's lookbooks just being kind of weird. Like, this is probably just the flannel underneath it that's dropping. Like, I don't think that's any like cut and sewn or anything that I can tell. Now we're getting into the accessories, which I think are a little bit more interesting, maybe the most interesting part of the Antisocial drops, just because they do interesting things. You know, I want to say last fall winter one, they did the riot shield. They've done like rice cookers. I want to say they did wheels for cars, But they've done like a bunch of like obscure things, kind of like Supreme does, you know. Supreme had the dirt bike and whatnot. We don't need to ramble about that. We're looking at accessories now, and first up you have this gold chain, which I think looks terrible. The antisocial pendant is ridiculously bad quality. Look at the unevenness of the kind of like edge around here. You can see it's almost like stamped on the side where it's like raised, and then go down to the corner and it's just rounded off. The other corners, like none of the corners are symmetrical and they all look different. And then if you go over to the socials, like both the socials, part of the like print right here, or like where it was stamped, has a line. It's like somebody just took like gold spray paint and sprayed over. I think this looks absolutely trash. I don't know if they have a closer up version of it. Yeah, so I guess at least the pendant's kind of small, it looks like. So if you do get it, you know, maybe people won't be able to see the flaws, but I think that looks terrible. So unlike the pendant that we just looked at, we have some gloves, which I think they might be work gloves. I'm not exactly sure, but I think these look way better. They have Get Weird on the like Velcro strap to tighten it. Big antisocial logo on the hand, and then also along the knuckles you got ASSC, which I think is creative branding as far as the silhouette goes. They covered kind of like all the bases of places that you can brand. I think the knuckles was a cool touch, and then you can see like the underside of the gloves, or there's a look at the knuckles and then the underside of the gloves as well. So I think these are cool. This one is all about the doggos. Right here you got the dog leash, then you have the dog collar, and then the dog bowl. There's not a whole lot that needs to be said here. They're pretty basic, just items for a dog. Antisocial apron, and I want to say they did a denim apron recently too, but don't quote me on that. I want to say they did though, but I think the apron's kind of cool. And then to go with it, you have the rice spoon, which they definitely did a rice cooker a couple seasons ago. So I guess finally you can complete your whole set, because the cooker was pink and all the stuff's pink too. Actually, most antisocial stuff's pink anyway. So this actually might be my favorite piece, which isn't saying a whole lot for antisocial because they really lack creativity, and because of that I'm kind of straying away from a lot of purchases from them. And they also have their other issues. Like I ordered one of the antisocial mastermind jackets from back in December maybe, I don't know, and you know, none of that stuff shipped out, which the collaboration was like 3 pieces. Usually the collabs ship out super fast. So I know it takes a long time, but it's just like, that's annoying to have to deal with. Thank God I signed my lease here again, but I think this is cool. I like this. Big bandana boy, you know, Babushka gang. Join up on the Babushka army. But I'm not exactly sure what this font is. Kind of reminds me of like some African stuff, like some South African stuff maybe, I don't know. But I do like that font that they have the ASSC in. They have used it before. And you got the checkered flags. I think this is cool. It looked cool, you know, like bandanaed up. It have a lot of cool colors and designs. I like it. I might get that. So they have a dustpan, which is, I don't know, these things are kind of useful, but I haven't been looking at the comments lately, so sometimes there's some funny ones. This one says, finally something I can get for my girl. But a lot of people are just kind of like, why a dustpan and whatnot. But, you know, that's just antisocial. You got an antisocial journal, which, I don't know, man, not really needed. And they do these antisocial shoulder bags. They've been doing them for every season for maybe like the last 2 years. And I always hate them. I want to say last season they did like some weird color blocking. Season before they did like all one solid color and they look terrible. But actually these ones I think aren't bad. I like how they break it up. Like the cheetah print helps cover up maybe some of the flaws that the blanks have, or the material that they use has, which kind of like it looks ugly. But I think the cheetah print helps cover that up a little bit. Got the big antisocial logo, which also helps cover up some stuff. And then you got the small like Get Weird. The only thing I don't like about this is the branding that goes along the strap, which I think something on the strap is necessary to kind of like complete the look of it. But I just think all the different fonts clash too much. Like you have the antisocial logo one, I want to say the Get Weird one is in a different font, and then you have the one going along the shoulder as well. But yeah, other than the shoulder bags that I've dropped, I think this is probably my favorite. You also have the pink colorway, which I like less, and then you have these like drawstring bag, antisocial ones, athletic bag. I don't know. I think these are trash. These are like always super cheaply made. So here's another accessory that I thought was kind of cool. This is an antisocial yoga mat. Next up, you have phone cases. Once again, they're just phone cases. You know, you can look at them. I'm not exactly sure what this is. Somebody said in the comments that it might be a bottle opener, like, you know, one of those wall mount ones where you put it up and then like has the bottle opener on the bottom, which you know, that might be what it is. Not exactly sure. If it is, cool. We have an antisocial blanket. There you go. That's a blanket. You got the antisocial keychain with this car, which they've used this same exact car before. I want to say it was last season or 2 seasons ago. They had this car, and then it had the UPS logo, I want to say, and it was when they were trying to like meme all the shipping stuff. So yeah, and then we have the antisocial golf balls, which we saw in the second promo picture that we looked at in the start of the video. They're golf balls with the branding on it, you know. It is what it is. Not exactly sure what this is, but it's looking kind of thick. Moving on, we have socks, pink flames. You got the regular flames, which I kind of actually like these ones. I'm not crazy about the pink flames, but I do like these just regular like flame ones. And then we also have this I Heart Antisocial Social Club, kind of looking like I Heart New York or whatever. Comes in 2 colorways, and then you got these rose ones. I think these rose ones are the worst out of the bunch. And I'm shooting this video on Wednesday, so the drop is until Saturday, and they release teasers up until the drop, so it's hard to include everything that drops. So I might add some more footage tomorrow, so if I do, that'll be here. So as I said yesterday, or like 5 seconds ago for you guys, I'm back. There are some new items teased, of course, and a lot of it is just like kind of close-ups on images, so we're gonna breeze through most of it, but there are some new ones that have been teased, so we'll go over that. And starting, got the Black Widow kind of close-up. We saw this already, just kind of, you know, like I said, close-ups. I think the one we saw before was in that white colorway. I don't care about that. You got this design, Lust, with some, I don't know, Korean text maybe, and a flower. Pretty simple, comes in those 2 different colorways. The cream colorway is kind of cool, or kind of like off-white one. And then we get a close-up of the hoodie for the skeleton one. Got the ribs there. Like I said, I think there are a lot better renditions of this by other brands. I don't think this one is crazy good, but you know, I do think it's at least kind of cool to see them doing this. And this is kind of this all over butterfly print, and I think it looks really cool on the t-shirt, or maybe not really cool, but I think it looks cool on the t-shirt. Not something I would wear, but yeah, you know, it's decent. I probably like that white colorway a little bit more, just because they're so lighthearted. You know, the butterflies, black is just maybe kind of a little bit odd for it. The mask is kind of cool. I really like how they did the print also on the straps for the mask. I always bring this up. I'm like, maybe don't brand at the front of the mask. It'd be cool to see branding along the straps, and it's not branding here, yeah, but it is print going along it, which I think at least is kind of cool. Also, a correction from before. I said this was Antisocial Forever. This is Antisocial Fever. I'm not exactly sure what they're going for with that, you know, 60s whatever vibe, and it shows off in another colorway, which I really do not care for that colorway. The hats are decent. You got kind of this like motion blur design. It says no self-control, with it being focused on self, and you know, obviously the rest is blurred. I'm not crazy about this. The Antisocial logo on the back as well is kind of blurred, and then I think it does look cool on the hats though. I think this is probably the silhouette that it works for the most. I wouldn't exactly say that it works very well on other ones, just because I'm not a huge fan of it. Anyway, you got the Antisocial, just kind of like the season branding. They've been doing this a lot lately. I'm not sure if they do or they have done track pants before. Another new design, we have the black roses, which are all right, I guess. I at least appreciate that it's like alternating the overlapping of the rose and then the lettering. That being said, not crazy about it. Moving on, we also saw this camo. Comes in a couple different colorways, not camo colorways, and just kind of different colors. Judging from this, I don't think the season is very good, but the best items are usually teased last. You know, they usually save a lot of the like jackets and bigger pieces that generally have more of the creativity put into them for last, or being teased last. And then the same with collaborations, which also kind of have like more, or the majority of the creativity put into those. They generally save those for the last items to be teased. Check out their Instagram, you can keep updated there. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys think of the season. Are you planning on copying anything? And yeah, that's about it. I'll see you guys in the next video.